So, New Zealand's just dropped one of its biggest immigration shakeups in decades, and it's completely changing the rules for anyone who wants to live and work there. In this explainer, we're going to break down exactly what's different and, more importantly, what it all means for you.
But let's just jump right in with a question that gets to the absolute heart of these new rules. Can a few dollars, a tiny difference in what you earn per hour, really be the one thing that costs you your residency in New Zealand? And the answer? Yeah, it's a shocking yes. Okay, let's make this real. Take a look at this example with teachers. A teacher on step 4 of the pay scale, making just a bit over $72,000, is suddenly not eligible for residency. But their colleague, just one single step up the ladder, earning a little bit more, they are eligible. It just goes to show you how razor-thin these margins have become.
So, how on earth did we get here? Well, it all starts with the first massive change. New Zealand has basically torn up the old system for classifying jobs and written a brand new rulebook from scratch. It's called the National Occupation List, or NOL for short, and this thing is brand new, built from the ground up just for New Zealand. Its whole job, really, is to sort every single occupation into one of 5 distinct skill levels.
So why the big switch? Well, the old system, ANZSCO, was shared with Australia and was so slow to update. I mean, it just couldn't keep up with modern jobs, especially in tech. But this new NOL, it's all Kiwi. It's going to be updated every single year, and it's specifically designed to recognize today's specialized roles.
And look, if you take away one thing from this part, it's this. Your job now gets a rank. Skill level 1, that's the highest, all the way down to 5. And that one little number, it has become probably the most important piece of your entire immigration puzzle. And here's why that number is such a huge deal. If your job is a skill level 1 to 3, you're looking at a visa for up to 5 years, and things are generally a bit smoother. But if you land in level 4 or 5, whoa, it's a different story. You're capped at 3 years, you've got a mandatory English test, and bringing your family over gets a lot tougher. You see, your whole journey is basically decided by that one number. Okay, so that's the job side of things. The other half of this whole overhaul? It's all about the money. There's a new price tag for entry, a new financial hurdle to clear, and it all comes down to one single, really powerful number. And that number is $35. That's the new median wage per hour that immigration is using for, well, pretty much everything. So what does that look like over a year? Well, if you're working a standard 40-hour week, you've got to be earning at least $72,800. That's the new magic number for your annual salary. And trust me, this number is the gatekeeper for everything that really matters. We're talking your eligibility for residency, how many points you can get for the skilled migrant category, extending your visa, even whether your boss has to prove they couldn't find a local for your job. It's the critical benchmark. So you take the new skill levels and you add in this new wage roll, and what you get is a system with some pretty clear winners and losers. And it gives us a really stark picture of the kind of country New Zealand is trying to build. So, who's feeling the squeeze? Well, roles like nanny, pet groomer, and kennel hand, they've all been bumped down from skill level 3 to 4. And look, that's not just some number changing on a form. It has real consequences. People in these jobs are now stuck with a 3-year maximum stay and have to pass an English test. It makes putting down long-term roots a whole lot harder. But on the flip side, New Zealand is basically rolling out the red carpet for other professions. We're seeing brand new high-priority roles pop up like Chief Sustainability Officer, Virtual Reality Specialist, and Physician Associate. It paints a super clear picture, right? They're aiming for a future in tech, sustainability, and advanced medicine. But here's a really interesting twist. Money talks. A big enough salary can actually help you leapfrog some of these restrictions. So say you're in one of those level 4 or 5 jobs, right? If you're earning 1.5 times that median wage, we're talking over $109,000 a year. Boom, you can unlock a 5-year stay. Earn even more than that, and you start getting those precious points you need for residency. In this new system, a high income really can open doors.
Okay, so with all this going on, what do you actually do? How do you prepare if you're thinking about making the move? This brings us to the most important part, your game plan.
All right, let's break it down into a simple checklist you need to run through before you even think about applying. 1. Find your exact job code in that new National Occupation List. You have to know your skill level. 2.
Double and triple check that your hourly wage clears that $35 threshold. 3. Know your English language requirements. Don't get caught out. And 4, and this is huge, start thinking about your long-term residency plan from day one. So what's the bottom line in all of this? Look, New Zealand isn't slamming the doors shut, but it is making the doorway a lot narrower. For some people, the path is actually clearer, but for many others, it's gotten a lot tougher. And what that means is that planning, really detailed planning, isn't just a good idea anymore. It is absolutely essential if you want to succeed. And that really leaves us with one final big question that only you can answer. When you look at your own skills, your profession, your salary, are you set up for this new high-skill, high-wage future that New Zealand is so clearly chasing? We hope this explainer from webfitnews.co.nz has helped make sense of these